Good dawn, noon, or dusk to all my fellow adventurers, creators, duelists, and gamers. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be gathering around for storytime number 2. So, I just want to talk about dedication and perseverance in today's storytime. Recently, my brother, a couple months ago, he's been in college for his degree, and a couple months ago, he had made it to a certain point where he was able to stop right there and just go on about doing what he was doing, or he could have continued and got an even better degree. And so I remember he came to me asking what he should do. I remember him telling me that he was a little tired of going. He was a little exhausted, which is understandable. Anybody going through college understands that college is exhausting. And so I completely understood where he was coming from. But then we sat there and I had him, just go through all his pros and cons of the situation that was before him. And while listing the pros and cons, we ended up realizing that the pros of him continuing to school were way better than the cons. And so he chose to go back and continue school. And so during this time, he would continue doing his classes, and eventually, I guess, burnout would catch up to him. And so he'd come back to me again, and he'd be talking about not knowing if he wants to finish through with it. And again, always understandable. When you are just not feeling up to it, sometimes on some of those days, it's just you just want to throw in the flag, and that's understandable. But I low-key got agitated with him, and I was like, bro, hold on, we jumped in this. You had this opportunity. You could only take these the class was only available during this time, because then the program would have ended if he didn't take the class. And so he ended up taking them. He ended up continuing doing it. And then it turns out something happened in the school and this and that. And at the end of it all, he stuck through. He stuck through and chose to continue. He persevered. And so after persevering, he graduated. And we had a graduation party for him, and it was great. And I've honestly never seen him any happier in life than when I think he finally realized it, while we were partying, that he really completed it and really followed through, and now has that degree under his belt. Now it's not just I'm in this industry and I'm doing these things just because I'm actually studied and well versed in this industry and in this subject. And I honestly thought, while observing the entire journey, I thought it was funny, but also important. Funny just because, it's funny to see a human go from being, kind of down in the dumps to being up and then down in the dumps. As humans, we really have a roller coaster of emotions. And it really is insane when you think about it. And to be able to defeat your own worst enemy. Everybody knows your worst enemy is truly yourself. When you start working on yourself, you will realize that you are in your way 75% of the time. And so to be able to defeat yourself and overcome your own setbacks that you create, I think those are some of the most important victories. Dedication is simply the quality of being committed to a task or a challenge. And perseverance is the quality or decision to stick to that task or challenge even though it's difficult or success hasn't been achieved. And so when looking at what was going on with my brother, I also looked back at myself. And after attending the Cleveland Classic Gaming Con this week, I had ended up seeing an old friend that I used to play tabletop with back when I first started my tabletop journey. And I ended up telling him, I got married, I had kids, blah, blah, blah. And I made my own business. I'm making my own tabletop RPG. I'm making my own trading card game. And he was really excited. He was genuinely really excited for me, and which was awesome. But also, he was really interested in my tabletop. And so I was able to rekindle with that person and able to make a future networking for being able to have some more play testers or just people who play in a campaign in general. And in that moment, it made me realize that the journey I'm on, I can see the fruits of my labor. I can see the success that I have. I can feel it. Back in 2018, 2019, when I first started creating these books, they were supposed to be supplements. Like, I'm not kidding when I tell you guys that I made this, and like this was supposed to be a 5th edition supplement, right? And I changed it. Originally, it wasn't that. I wanted it to be my own system. And so, while making it, I realized that I didn't want to get into the, legal hassle with having to deal with Wizards and if they sued me for this and that and blah, 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 and all these worries and stresses and this and that. And not really realizing that at the end of the day, I need to just go for it, When you have something, you have a dream, you have a goal, you have a challenge in mind, you go for it. Simple. And so, from the first inclination of creating all of this, for creating Adventure and Quest specifically, for it turning to be a new TTRPG in itself, I got discouraged and didn't believe in myself, and then I was like, oh, you know what? Let me just play easy with them, and I'll turn it into a 5th edition supplement. But in my soul, I was not satisfied with that option. I was not satisfied with that decision that I would make. And so I would focus on creating, focus on keep on making my stuff. And it wasn't until in March of 2022 that I made my business, and then I got the idea for Chroma, that after making Chroma, I would want to make my own TTRPG, and I realized, like, well, then this is just gonna be my own TTRPG. I'm just gonna make a brand new TTRPG. And so ever since doing that, I have been non-stop working on my stuff. I've just been working on a lot of stuff, and mind you, it's split between working on a card game and a tabletop role-playing game. But I persevered and stayed dedicated to my challenge, my task. And like I said, I see the fruits of it. I see the rewards. I see the fruits of my labor. And I just want this to be a message to anybody who's out there working hard on a project or working hard on a business they want to make or some type of thing they want to create, whatever it is. Don't stop. Don't stop. Literally don't stop. If you're watching this video, seeing this video, I'm talking directly to you. Don't stop. Keep going. Keep going. You're almost there. Your work, your labor, it's noticed. It's seen. It may not seem like it. You go every day, hours and hours in, putting in work, and it seems like it's for nothing, or you're wasting your time, or you're wasting your resources, and this and that. Don't listen or don't feel any of that. That voice inside of you that's telling you you're wasting your time, don't listen to him. Cast him aside. Because you can do it. You will do it. You just got to keep on trying. Keep on pushing forward. Keep on persevering. Stay dedicated. I promise you, you will begin to see the fruits of your labor. I promise you. I went to that con this year as a customer and as a viewer. And I told myself next year I will be going as a vendor. I promised myself that. And I'm gonna do that. Just like how I said Phoenix Forge RPG will be a beacon for those who want to take control of their life and become independent when it comes to work, and work for yourself, and have your own little empire you can build, you know. Chroma the trading card game is going to be the world's greatest trading card game. It will be the next major trading card game around the world. Adventure and Quest is the most epic tabletop role-playing game in the world. And it is. I put all that energy, all this time into it, it will be that. So when you put all your energy and all your time into what you do, it will be that. You just have to keep on working hard, keep on persevering, and stay dedicated to it. When you got people telling you, oh, don't do that, it probably 9 times out of 10, bro, if you got haters and naysayers, it's probably because they either jealous or they don't want you to succeed on what you're doing. Because they don't know any better. Or they're comfortable with you not succeeding and having you around. You got to understand that some people in your corner aren't around you to see you succeed. And so you need to take care of your garden. Pull the weeds out that's there. Everything connected in the roots, but it don't mean everything is working with each other, you know? So you got to eliminate those weeds and you know, bugs out of your garden. And truly listen to yourself. Know yourself. Know yourself. I had watched a video once a while back, and it was saying something along the lines that don't listen to people telling you you're falling behind, or don't listen to that voice in your mind telling you that you're falling behind, or you're not, you know, working fast enough, or you haven't got it by this deadline. When you're working on something that you created, that you do, you're working on your time. You do it on your time. So you're not taking too long. You're not doing it too fast. You're moving on the time that is perfect for you. Everybody's time is different. Always try to moderate out your time throughout the day so you can get a chance to work on your stuff every day. That's what I make sure I try to work on my stuff every single day. Even if it's just a little bit, even if it's just for an hour. Even if it's just for an hour. Work on it. Work on your craft every single day. And any person who's the best at what they do or the best at this, they'll tell you, I did this every day. I did this every day. Went in there, did this for blah, blah, blah hours. And that's because they stayed dedicated and persevered, and then look what they become. Just because you think you're a regular person, working a regular job, doing some regular stuff, or you're a nobody and nobody notices you, you don't have this many followers, or blah, like, you know, you didn't have this posted, or all that don't matter. It really doesn't. None of it matters. What matters is if every time you get knocked down, getting back up. I know that's cliche and cheesy, but at the end of the day, that is truly the number one best thing to do. It's the number one strongest thing to do that you could do is get back up. Never give up. Never give up. If you watch anime, if you watch cartoons, like, you know, or read comics or anything like that, you'll notice that the protagonists, what do they do every single time, bro? It's hard work and dedication, perseverance. A couple years ago, I told myself I'm gonna start living life as an anime protagonist. I have. You tell me any of the cons to wanting to be like that. To wanting to be somebody who wants to uplift their friends. To achieve their goals and watch their friends achieve their goals. To have everybody around them achieve their dreams and achieve success. to be a beacon of positivity and hope. That don't mean I'm perfect. That don't mean I don't have bad days or any of that. But it means that I choose to not accept it, and I choose to want better for myself and those around me. And I truly think that that's something that, instead of just watching a show and having a good, pay attention to how that character is. What qualities does that character exude that you would copy? Because that's something I pay attention to a lot. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, like my man Naruto said, you gotta believe it. You really do. You really do. You gotta believe it. I think a big reason as to why everyone likes Rock Lee back in the day is simply because of how hard he worked. That's why they like Naruto. You've seen what he came through. You see the mud that he crawled out of. Those characters aren't just good just cause. They're good because they went through all those hardships and never gave up. When Rock Lee failed to do 100 push-ups, then he was going to do 100 sit-ups. When he failed to do 1,000 squats, then he was going to do 1,000 jumping jacks. And that's the point. He always got back up, and even when he failed, he set another goal for himself to do it. Even when he didn't achieve that goal, guess what? We get back up and we achieve another goal. We'll come back to that. At the end of the day, you have to stay dedicated to your craft and stay dedicated to what you do and persevere. Every day you get to work on that stuff is a blessing and a chance of you creating your success, you changing your life for the better. So I highly encourage all of you, all of my creators out there. This video is for you. I truly hope that you're listening and understand that what I'm saying isn't some type of cheesy message or fluke. It really is a heart-to-heart message on you having to understand that just continue pushing forward, continue pushing through, continue persevering, stay dedicated, stay committed. You have this, you got this, no matter what. In the next Storytime video, I'll be going over my time at the Cleveland Classic Gaming Con. Had a blast. Follow along to see that video. Like this video. Share to anybody you know who's working on their craft and you feel like they just need that extra push. And even if you don't think they need that extra push, just show them this video so they could just have that fuel added to that fire. Comment down below any story time things that you've gone through. Tell me what you've gone through this week, or any moments where you realized that you were down and you felt like quitting almost, but you chose to persevere and stay dedicated. Go ahead and comment those stories down below as well. And just follow along on the channel, subscribe to the channel, because we got a lot of more stuff coming. I hope you guys are truly happy, joyous, stay blessed, always stay patient and peaceful. Just remember to persevere and stay dedicated. Show love and peace.